Absolutely love it. The new one from One Republic on One Radio, Counting Stars. Good evening, how you doing? It's 7:10. I'm Paul, and you're firmly in the 7 o'clock show now. As I said earlier, Trudy is not joining me tonight, so we'll have to find another way to amuse ourselves rather than just laughing at her blondness. But we are joined by some others on Facebook. Eileen, hello. Frankie, hello. Teresa, hello. Joseph, Jason and Sergey all joining us on Facebook. Good evening, everyone. And do that tonight. If you're thinking, I've got nothing to do, even if just for a couple of minutes, go to facebook.com/One Radio Malta, give us a like or a comment, and I'll give you a shout out. Now, it's the 7 o'clock show, as I've mentioned, and every Thursday we have a year of request. Today, I've picked what I think is an awesome year. Now, we did a show on Tuesday this week, which was a bit last minute, and we were just covering for some other people that couldn't make it. And the year of request was 1995, and it was amazing, the things and the music that went on in 1995. Tonight, I've backtracked just a few more years to 1991, ladies and gentlemen. 1991. I was 11, but musically, it was a huge year. And you're lucky, I almost went back to 1986, because there were some good tunes then as well. But no, we're stuck in 1991. So get in touch. Let me know what you were doing in 1991. Live at one.com.mt. On the SMS, you can text me if you like. 5061 5011. It's 58 cent. Of course, as I mentioned, facebook.com/One Radio. We're talking 1991 with an awesome track that came out. I actually thought this was from the 80s, but I was wrong.
Hello, you fool, I love you.
Actually got banned in the UK for encouraging joyriding. It's Roxette, One Radio, 12 minutes past 7. Good evening. 1991, what a year. I was 11, and many years afterwards, and about 4 years ago, I was working on a radio station, and I played this song for a friend of mine because she just passed her driving test, okay, because it's called Joyride. The song's Joyride. I forgot completely that it starts with the words, hello, you fool, I love you. Gave completely the wrong message over. And then I had to explain afterwards. Her parents were involved. It was a nightmare. Anyway, Roxette and Joyride. Enough about my past. It's really not good entertainment. It's 16 minutes past 7. Good evening. It's the 7 o'clock show with me, Paul. Hello. Trudy's not here, but if you want to join me, or if you have joined me already, thank you for that. Get on Facebook, say hello, just give us a like or something, and I'll give you a shout out. It's facebook.com/One Radio Malta. We're going to play False or Trudy today. Even though she's not here, we're going to go for it anyway. So as what normally happens is Trudy's got some amazing fact from the year of request today, 1991, and she asked me whether I think it's false or Trudy. It's very clever. Normally I get it wrong. Normally I get it. In fact, I think every time I've got it wrong. Well, I'm testing you today, okay? So it's related to the year of request, 1991, okay? And this is today's False or Trudy. Now, the key thing is about this, don't look it up on Google. It completely defeats the aim of the game, okay? Just shout at the radio, text me, email me, Facebook me. I'll give you all the contact details in just a minute. Okay, 1991. The Channel Tunnel workers... the Channel Tunnel, by the way, is the tunnel from England to France, just in case. The Channel Tunnel workers from the UK and France meet 40 metres beneath the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and the mainland of Europe since the Ice Age. That's today's False or Trudy. You have to guess, False or Trudy. It's really simple. I'll give it to you one more time then. In 1991... Channel Tunnel workers from the United Kingdom and France meet 40 metres below the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and the mainland of Europe since the last Ice Age. Long time. False or Trudy? Send me an email, live at one.com.mt. Send me an SMS, 5061 5011. It's 58 cents. And also you can send me a Facebook, facebook.com/One Radio Malta. Whatever you happen to be doing, whichever's safest, just do that. False or Trudy? I'll read it out a few more times later so that in case you forgot it or missed it or... Anyway, 18 minutes past 7, good evening. It's the 7 o'clock show, and I'm here until 8:15. Good evening, it's a pleasure. And there's one thing I need to do, which is cut to an ad break briefly, but that's not before the next song. It's been played everywhere at the moment, so I thought I'd give it... It's a great tune anyway. Avicii and You Make Me. It's awesome. You've probably heard it. If you haven't, turn it up. Told you it was good, didn't I? Avicii, You Make Me, One Radio 92.7, good evening. And a big shout out to Anne and Josephine on the Facebook. Thanks for joining us. 22 minutes past 7, and you're in the 7 o'clock show. And hi, I'm Paul. And I have a confession to make. I've mentioned earlier, Trudy isn't here. Now, it's all very good. She's lots of fun and blonde and giggly, but there's more to her than that, I promise you. Key thing being, she's head of paperwork. Now, alongside this, and completely by coincidence, I've had a bit of a disaster today. I've had a printing disaster. Disasteru major, Hafner. Okay, so I haven't been able to get anything printed all day. Basically, this means that I'm now running the whole show from my mobile phone. Who would have thought it'd be possible? So bear with me, okay? We're playing False or Trudy. Let me know if you think this statement is false or Trudy. In 1991, the Channel Tunnel workers from the United Kingdom and France meet 40 metres beneath the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and the mainland of Europe since the last ice age. False or Trudy? Live at one.com.mt. Send me an SMS if you like. 5061 5011. It's 58 cents, or just get on facebook.com/One Radio Malta. We're in the year 1991. I've got more tunes from that year coming up. But we've also got some Bruno Mars coming up next.
Malta's pride on the FM dial. 92.7 FM. One Radio.
One Radio with the 7 o'clock show. Good evening, it's Paul here until 8:15. Big hello to Lucien and Rose Hilly on the Facebook. Thanks for joining us. Bruno Mars. Ooh. Quality tune. Bit old now, isn't it? I think he's got a new one. I should look into that, being as I'm here at the radio. Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven, 32 minutes past 7. Good evening. And we're in the year tonight, for the year of request, 1991. And it's a great year. I've got some more music from the year coming up shortly as well. But I was just thinking, 1991, I was 11 years old. So it was just before I started secondary school. Now, let me give you a bit of backstory. I grew up in the sticks, middle of the countryside, nothing but sheep and cows for miles. When I mean miles, like my school was a 45-minute bus journey away. So it was pretty, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was a pretty rural lifestyle. However, it didn't matter, because I had prepared myself adequately for the new school that I knew nothing about and was very excited and nervous about going to, and was huge, whereas my current school only had 45 people in the whole school. The new one had 1,000. I'd prepared myself for this move in my life by watching Grease the film, the first one, about, I don't know, 55 times, to the point where I probably knew every word. You know, the musical film, Grease. Anyway, so I went to school, of course, expecting it to be Grease. Prepared, you know, I had my songs, the words to my songs written down in my bag, and arrived, and of course it was nothing like Grease. The first thing that shocked me was it wasn't one big building that everyone runs out from after the bell goes, singing a go-home song. I was surprised, to say the least. Anyway, I was deluded as well, clearly. 1991 is the year we are in tonight. Let me know what you were doing, or if you just want to shout out tonight, get in touch. Facebook.com/One Radio Malta. If you haven't got Facebook, don't worry, send me an email, live@one.com.mt. And if you can't do that, send me a text, 5061 5011. It's 58 cents, remember. More music coming up from Jake Bugg and Bastille a little bit later. But right now in the UK, it's all about London Grammar. Awesome band. I've got their song Strong for you right now on One Radio. Good evening. It's peaceful, isn't it? But it's got something classic about it. London Grammar and Strong. One Radio, good evening. It's the 7 o'clock show. A couple of texts in then from Sharon Cortis. Hi Sharon, how are you? She said she thinks it's true. She's referring to today's false or true D. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. We've had another one in as well. Says false, which is good. I know I said just give us the answer, but if you want to put your name down as well, that's okay. You know, we can mention you on the radio, but we've got your number. Thank you for your answer. Anyway, today's false or trudy. Remember, we're in the year 1991, so the question is, in 1991, the Channel Tunnel workers from the UK and France met below the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and Europe on the mainland since the last ice age. False or trudy? Let me know. Live at one.com.mt. 5061 5011 for the SMS. Remember, it's 58 cents. Or jump on Faceache and go to facebook.com /One Radio Malta. We're in the year 1991, ladies and gentlemen. Take a quick look at some of the news that was going on in 1991. Well, I mean, I was 11. The internet hadn't been invented. Get that. And we were only talking a few years ago. Okay, so first up, poll tax in the UK which was introduced in 1990, got replaced because of the uproar with a new type of tax called the council tax, which was exactly the same. They basically changed the name of it. Oh, big hello to Maz as well, who's listening. Hi, Maz from the UK. The internet in 1991 is made available to unrestricted commercial use. Not domestic, though. And the number of computers on the net reaches 1 million. It's nothing, is it, compared to nowadays? And the first web browser was introduced in 1991. Unbelievable. Things that were invented, the clockwork radio. You know the wind-up radio that they have nowadays? They have wind-up all sorts nowadays, but the wind-up radio was engineered by Trevor Bayliss in 1991, and also the airbag was introduced in 1991. Two awesome things in our world, I hope you agree. Year of request today, guess what? It's 1991, just in case you didn't pick that up. If you want to get in touch and let us know what you were doing in that year, then do so at all the previously mentioned ways. Talking about 1991 as well, big music that year. Michael Jackson was back with his Dangerous album in the 90s, and this was a huge hit for him. Black or White from Jacko. And this is the album version, which I think is better because it starts with Macaulay Culkin in the video, annoying his dad for playing loud music. Anyway, take a listen. So, as a thanks to Macaulay Culkin for doing the video to this song, Jacko bought him a soft-top red racing car. I was 11, that's what I thought it was. It was. I just didn't know the brand and etc. Anyway, so Macaulay Culkin stripped the inside out and turned it into a bed. How cool. I was so jealous. Haven't actually seen much of Macaulay Culkin recently, though, have we? Since Home Alone, when he was 6, maybe 4, was it? I'm not sure. It's One Radio, good evening. It's a 7 o'clock show with me, Paul, and unfortunately no Trudy tonight. Got to say a big hello to Benson on the Facebook. Hello, Benson. Thanks for joining us. And also Matt, who's put his vote in for today's false or true D. He says... I've put it down as false, but you know what? I need to double check that because I think he said true. I think it was true, Matt, wasn't it? I've written it down wrong. Matt says true. There we go. I'll give you the false or trudy question again a little bit later on, but let's just keep the music playing, shall we? Brand new one from Wilkinson, Afterglow. Great tune. One Radio, good evening. So as well as having the problem that my co-host Trudy's not here tonight, and my printing dilemma, which I explained earlier, meaning that the whole show tonight is run from my mobile phone. Technology, eh? I also had another problem. Oh yes, that's right. I'm really ill. Now, I blame the last person who kissed me, but I won't reveal who that is. But I'm dying right now of the common cold, I promise you. At One Radio, good evening. It's the 7 o'clock show. Hello, I'm Paul. And I'd like to do a big shout out to Joe Tanti from Bonjour Familia, our breakfast show here, weekdays, 6 a.m. He invited me on his show this morning to talk about tonight's show. I work evenings. I don't get up at the crack of dawn. Not the case today, because I went in to speak with Joe on the show. Really good fun, really great time on this morning's show. So thanks, Joe. Big shout out to you. If you want to get your name mentioned on the radio, get in touch. Facebook.com/One Radio Malta. Anything like that. Just, or you can comment if you like, and I might read it out if it's appropriate on the air. But if you don't want to, just like, and you'll still get a shout out. Today's year of request is 1991. I'm going to take a quick look at some of the films that hit the big screens in 1991. There's some epic films. First up, and the biggest grossing film of the year, and not to be surprised really, it was Terminator 2 and Judgment Day. Ooh. The graphics on that film at the time were amazing. I was 11, so I was like watching it with a prepared legs to run away if I got too scared. That didn't happen, obviously, because I am a man. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Bryan Adams did the theme tune. Kevin Costner was Robin Hood, was he? God, he's got old now, hasn't he? Silence of the Lambs, big film in 1991. Hook, which is the Peter Pan story, that was huge in 1991 as well. The Addams Family. I haven't seen it. I've seen The Munsters. That's right. That's the other Addams Family, isn't it? I've seen The Munsters. Father of the Bride, huge film in 1991. And The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. If you've never seen any of the Naked Gun films and you like slapstick comedy, they're the ones to watch. Check them out. They're quite dated looking now, though. Still funny. Beauty and the Beast was a big film as well in this year. And also Beethoven, the film about the massive dog. What are they called? A Prince William, are those dogs? Prince Henry? King Charles, are those dogs? I don't know. Some royal name those dogs have. Beethoven was also a big film in 1991. Today's year of request. It's all good. More music coming up from that year a little bit later. What have we got first? Yes. Now, I played this a couple of weeks ago. It's very British in its sound. It's Jake Bugg with his track, What Doesn't Kill You. I quite like it. Tell me what you think. Facebook.com/One Radio Malta. It's a 7 o'clock show on One Radio. 9 minutes to 8.
Slipped out the door 2 a.m. yesterday. Me and my friend keeping the dry. It bleeds and finally you breathe.
What do you think? Eva Yolaire. It's Jake Bugg, What Doesn't Kill You. I like it. It's a bit punky. It sounds a bit anarchist. It sounds a bit like the early 80s. Anyway, it's One Radio. Good evening, 92.7. 7 o'clock show with me, Paul. Trudy's not here. It's 6 minutes to 8. I'm here until 8:15 this evening. And music coming up as well from Icona Pop and the new one the current one, I believe, from Bastille, Things We Lost in a Fire. But tonight we are talking about 1991, a really big year in music. We don't play much rap and hip-hop on this show because it doesn't really fit what we're trying to do. We played Coolio and Gangsta's Paradise a few days ago because it was 1995 at that moment. Well, tonight it's 1991. And I have got a rap tune for you, but I think you're going to like it. Tupac, his first ever single. It was much more poetic then. It was before he went into jail and became a hardcore gangster rapper and all that rubbish. This was his first single. I love it. It's Tupac and Brenda's Got a Baby from 1991. Good evening, it's One Radio. I hope you like this. If you do, if you know it, sing along. I will be. In his time, he was a poet. Tupac, Brenda's Got a Baby, One Radio, good evening. From 1991, which is our year of request today. It's the last track you're going to hear from that year from me tonight. It's great, isn't it? If If it's not your kind of thing, don't worry. We've got something completely different coming up for you very shortly. Big shout out to Rita on the Facebook. Thanks for joining us, Rita, my lover. And it's rapidly approaching 8 o'clock here at the 7 o'clock show. It's 7 o'clock show because it starts at 7. Rapidly approaching 8 o'clock. You've got about 5 minutes left to answer today's false or trudy. Remember, the aim of the game is to not look it up. Just test your general knowledge or common sense sometimes. Today's false or trudy. In 1991, the Channel Tunnel workers from the UK and France met 40 metres beneath the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and mainland Europe since the last ice age. That's today's question. Is that false or trudy? Let me know on the email live@one.com.mt. You can SMS me 5061 5011. It's 58 cents, or you can send me a facebook.com/One Radio Malta. Still running the whole show from my phone as we go, so bear with me. More music coming up, in fact, in the next 15 minutes from Bastille with their current track Things We Lost in the Fire, and also Icona Pop. All of that coming up next here on One.
Malta's pride on the FM dial. 92.7 FM. One Radio.
That I adore.
Fantastic. Bastille, their current one, Things We Lost in the Fire. Good evening, 7 o'clock show, but it's 7 minutes past 8 right now. I'm here until 8:15, and at which time I'll hand you over to the very capable hands of Izaza Yistatsu. Stay tuned for that. At 8:15, that's coming on. But right now, we need to do results of today's false or trudy. So, we had a statement, and you had to guess whether it was false or trudy. We've had some really interesting answers coming in. So first up, not just false or trudy, some other interesting facts as well. So first up, the false or trudy today was in 1991, the Channel Tunnel workers from the UK and France meet 40 metres beneath the English Channel seabed, establishing the first ground connection between the UK and the mainland of Europe since the last ice age. False or trudy was the question I was asking you about that statement. Lines are now closed, so if you go in now, you can't win anything. You don't win anything anyway, to be honest. It's just, get in touch, it's just for fun. Right, so, in today's Trudy list, people who think it's Trudy, we've got the mystery number, of course. We've got, and that I mentioned earlier. We've also got Matt. We've got Mary, Josiane, Joseph, Chanel, Dave, Jacob and Pietra, all in the Trudy column. They think that statement is true. In the false column then, we've got the other mystery number. We've also got Sharon, we've got Rita, we've got Paulu, and we've got Franz. Now, Franz sent a message in saying, "Hi, Paul. In 1991, I was the meter reader with British Rail on the LTS, the London Tilbury Southend section. He thinks it's false, and he was sure it was before 1991. I didn't read this out earlier because it kind of gave away my game. Ladies and gentlemen, it was false. The whole thing was false. Well, in fact, the whole thing wasn't false. The whole thing was true. It was just in 1990, not 1991. I kind of tricked you a little bit. Sorry about that. Doesn't matter, it's just for fun. Thanks for taking part anyway. False or Trudy returns next Thursday for the 7 o'clock show. Running out of time. It's 9 minutes past 8. What have we got? Oh, let's play Rizzle Kicks. We love it on this show. Lost Generation. It's One Radio. Good evening. 7 o'clock show here until 15:15.
I said I'm living in a lost generation. I'm living life.
So that's pretty much it from me, guys. It's 13 minutes past 8. Remember, stay tuned. Izaza Yistatsu's up next, right after my next song. I'm not going to go back to 1991 again, because we've been doing that throughout the show. Just something I'd like to play for you. Dizzy Rascal. Got to be done with bonkers. Right, that's it from me. Goodbye. I'll be back Thursday at 7 o'clock. Thank you for listening and joining me. Good night and ciao.